Our marriage was a quiet kind of love, built on routine and trust. Mark and I had been together for 8 years, married for 4. We ran a small bookstore in our cozy coastal town. I'm Ellen, and I handled the shop's events, like book readings and signings. Mark managed the inventory, keeping our shelves stocked with stories from all over the world. Our lives were woven right into the pages of that business, like threads in a well-loved novel. But lately, the days had started to feel repetitive, like turning the same page over and over. I was restless, searching for something I couldn't quite name. That's when my old college friend Sam came back into town. His easy charm and that familiar laugh stirred something inside me that I hadn't felt in years. It started innocently enough, with texts catching up on old times. Then came the lunches, quick bites at local cafes, where we'd reminisce about our wilder days. I let myself believe it was all harmless, just two friends reconnecting. But deep down, I knew it was turning into something more, something I shouldn't chase. It happened on a rainy afternoon. Mark was supposed to be at a supplier meeting an hour away, so I invited Sam over, telling myself it was just to talk and share a coffee. But the air between us felt electric, charged with unspoken feelings. Before I knew it, we were in the bedroom, Mark's and mine. The guilt hit me sharp and heavy, like a weight on my chest. But I pushed it down, lost in the moment with Sam. We didn't hear the front door open over the sound of the rain. We didn't hear Mark's footsteps until he was standing right there in the doorway. His face was unreadable, a mix of shock and something deeper, like the ground had shifted under his feet. Sam froze beside me, and I quickly pulled up the sheets, my heart pounding. My voice caught in my throat. I couldn't say a word. "Ellen," Mark said, his voice so calm it sent a chill through me. Then he turned to Sam. "Sam, get out of my house." No shouting, no rage, just those words, cold and final, like a door slamming shut in the quiet. Sam scrambled for his clothes, muttering, "I'm sorry, man," as he hurried out, leaving me alone with Mark. I braced myself for the storm, expecting him to turn on me, to demand answers or yell about the betrayal. But he didn't. Instead, he walked over to the nightstand, picked up our wedding photo, the one from our simple beach ceremony, and stared at it for what felt like forever. Then he set it down, face first, hiding our smiling faces from view. "I knew," he said softly. My heart stopped. "Knew what?" I whispered, barely able to breathe. He looked at me, his eyes hollow and tired, like he'd been carrying this burden for too long. "You've been different, distant. I followed you last week. Saw you with him at the pier." He'd known all along, and I'd been too wrapped up in my own world to notice the signs. I tried to speak, to apologize, to explain away the mess I'd made, but Mark held up a hand. "Don't," he said. "Not yet." He walked out to the living room, and sat on the couch, pulling out his phone. I followed him, trembling, my legs feeling like they might give out. He opened a folder full of screenshots, texts I thought I'd deleted, a photo of Sam and me laughing too closely at a cafe, even a time-stamped note from the day he'd followed us. He'd been building this quietly, not out of paranoia, but because he could feel me slipping away. "I wanted to be wrong," he said, his voice finally breaking a little. "But here we are." I was speechless, pinned down by the weight of his quiet evidence. Mark didn't leave that night, didn't scream or throw things. Instead, he just stayed on the couch, staring at the wall, while I sat across from him, on the armchair, crying silently. The silence stretched on, heavy and thick, until he finally asked, "Why?" I tried to explain, the loneliness that had crept in, the thrill of feeling seen and alive again, but it all sounded so pathetic, even to my own ears, like weak excuses for a terrible choice. He listened, nodding slightly, then said, "You chose him in our bed, Ellen." Our bed. Those words cut deeper than any yell could have. They hung in the air like a blade, slicing through the excuses I'd built up. He didn't call friends or family, didn't turn our pain into some public spectacle. He just sat there, letting the truth settle between us, his calm certainty freezing me in place. That night, I couldn't face the bedroom, so I slept in the guest room, tossing and turning with regret. The next day, Mark went to the bookstore as usual, like nothing had changed on the surface. He left me in a house that suddenly felt foreign, full of echoes of what we'd lost. I called Sam that morning, told him it was over, and blocked his number. He didn't argue. Maybe he felt the weight of it too. When Mark got home that evening, I tried to talk, to bridge the gap, but he just asked for space. "I need to think," he said, and I could see the hurt in his eyes, the kind that doesn't fade overnight. He started sleeping at my sister's place, giving him the house while I wrestled with my guilt alone. Friends noticed something was off. Our smiles at the shop seemed a bit forced, but Mark never told them a thing. He kept our pain private, which somehow made it feel even heavier, like a secret we both carried. We started counseling a few weeks later. Mark didn't want to at first. He was hesitant, guarded, but he agreed for the sake of our bookstore, our shared dream that we weren't ready to let go of just yet. In those sessions, he was honest but restrained, talking about trust like it was a broken machine he wasn't sure he could fix. I admitted my insecurities, how I'd let Sam's attention fill a void I hadn't even named. The therapist pushed us to confront the distance that had grown long before Sam entered the picture, the way we'd let work swallow up our connection, turning our marriage into just another routine. It was hard, seeing how much I'd contributed to our unraveling, how my choices had widened the cracks. The bookstore kept us tethered, like a fragile thread holding us together. Customers still came in for our curated shelves, chatting about their favorite reads, completely unaware of the fracture behind our polite smiles. Mark was always professional, but with me, he was distant. Like a wall had gone up that I couldn't climb over yet. I'm trying to earn back his trust, one small step at a time, helping more at the shop, listening when he wants to talk, showing up in ways I should have before. I still see that wedding photo in my mind, face down on the nightstand, and it haunts me, not because of what Mark did, but because of what he didn't. He didn't lash out, didn't try to destroy me with anger, he simply laid the truth bare, and that was enough to shatter everything we'd built. We're still together, but it's a shadow of what we had, a quieter version, marked by caution and healing. I'm learning to live with the consequences, to face the woman who betrayed her husband in their own home. Mark's reaction, his quiet, devastating clarity, still lingers like a whisper in the back of my mind. It's a reminder that love can break without a single sound, crumbling under the weight of unspoken hurts. I don't know if we'll make it all the way back, if things will ever feel whole again, but I'm fighting for it, hoping that one day he'll see me as more than the mistake I made. Some betrayals don't need loud words or dramatic scenes to destroy you, they just need the truth, spoken softly, to change everything forever.